Welcome to the Sports History Makers podcast, the show that connects you with your favorite athletes and their favorite sporting memories. On the Sports History Makers podcast, we will relive those incredible events. Here are your hosts, Pete Coley and Collinswood Coley.
During those years, you competed in the CARITA Games. You competed in the CARITA Games for 5 years. 2 years as an under-17 athlete and 3 years as an under-19 athlete, right?
Yeah.
When you look back on your record at CARITA, I see a lot of gold medals. I see a bronze medal in your first year competing. I think, yeah, first year. I think you're young. Your first experience, you're young. But after that, you in your second year as an under 17, you got the 100, 200, and the 4x1. And yes, you went on to I think you got a triple again also in 1999. Right. But what I want to talk about at CARITA was that CARITA record. Do you know about it?
I keep hearing about it, but I don't know. I didn't even think I ran that fast.
You still hold the CARITA Games record.
I have no idea.
You know?
I thought that was gone.
Well, it's 90. That's almost 23 years ago.
Crazy. I have
right?
no idea.
I think it was 1998. You set the CARITA record, and that's roughly 23 years ago.
It is. I didn't realize that.
It's coming up on 23 years now. Considering the talent that Jamaica and the Caribbean has had in those 20 years, how does it feel to know that your CARITA Games record still stands today?
Yeah, I'm like shocked. I didn't know. I thought it was gone, but I mean, I feel good.
Yeah,
it's always good to have like something associated with your name and for that long. Usually, it doesn't last that long,
especially in a sprint event, right?
Especially in a sprint event. Yeah, I thought Veronica already took that. Darn it. I'm gonna have to have a talk with her.
All right, so it's yours, and I mean, as much as we all would like to see, records go, that one I hope will remain yours for a while.
So
as it relates to going to college, after high school you went on to community college and then university. What were some of the decisions you had to make as it relates to choosing where you would go and the reasons behind it?
I think Barton was automatic because so many Jamaicans had went to the school for his Beverly McDonald went there, Juliet Campbell. So it just had a rich history of Jamaicans going there. So yeah, I really didn't think that there's something else. That's the school and the success that they had, and then it's like a Caribbean community. So I wanted to be in an environment where, I still feel like I'm at home with people. And then everybody there I knew, half for them from different countries that I competed with at CARITA Games and some from my high school in Jamaica. So it was good. The decision was okay.
Okay, so it was an easy decision. All right. And when you arrived there, what were some of the challenges you faced? Being the
cold.
The cold. Oh. Yeah. that was the biggest challenge.
Yeah, the snow thing was different. Yeah.
Okay. And you had to train, in this cold weather, morning and evening sometimes. What motivated you then to keep on going?
The fact that Mr. Spencer would have killed me, Auntie Carmen would have killed me, Salini would have killed me, Miss Bailey would have killed me. Yeah, I would have been killed a bunch of times. I had to make sure, I every time I was about to like lose track. I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm
Mm.
trying to survive.
Okay. All
So
right.
yeah, so it's just yeah, like I said, the people around you keep you grounded. And then at school, I had like friends from high school. Camille went to high school with me. Natalie went to high school with me. And there's like a bunch of other Caribbean people. So we always like work together to make sure that we stay on track. Because, you know, we're coming from different countries, and half of us is the first for any of our family members to be at a college. So we had to like, you know, maintain that and make sure we graduate and do what we came to do. Because we don't have the luxury of, you know, being able to move from one college to the next. And if we get in trouble, you get shipped back home, and yeah, that's not a good look. So I had to make sure you stay on the straight.
All right. So you had your friends there and stuff like that. So you didn't really suffer from homesickness, did you?
I mean, I am used to not being with my mom because I went to my high school was a boarding school.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed her, but not as much because I'm used to being away from her for a long period of time. And then I used to come home because when competitions started in high school from January till, oh God, I never went home for
March.
months.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for months. So I had gotten used to not having her like all the time. And then I came home for holidays from college, so I still got to see her within the same time frame. So boarding school prepared me for not missing my mom or my family and friends too much.
Okay. But what about the food? You know, was that an issue for you?
They had a kitchen, man. And where there's a kitchen,
Okay.
kids will make it work. And then I had my high school we had past student that lived in New York. So Uncle Owen, Uncle Leroy, they would mail us stuff like the seasoning and you know stuff. And so it's kind of like care package. So they would send us like Jamaican care packages. So and then when we're coming up from Jamaica, we bring like a bag of clothes and then one bag of food and stuff,
Food and stuff.
supplies. And then,
Okay.
yeah, we had a common area where we cook. And then we used to smuggle hot plates in our room, which we're not supposed to. Don't tell them. So
You just did.
we would find ways to cook Jamaican food and stuff. So we really didn't like miss the food because we knew how. I mean, growing up in Jamaica, you better know how to cook. So so those skills like helped us survive. So we were able to cook the Jamaican food that we like.
Okay. All right. How about the training? How did you adapt to the training, university training? I mean, you went to VAIR, you know, so you are accustomed to training hard
Yeah,
twice a day.
Yeah, I was
Right.
accustomed to it. So it just went easy. And then Coach Brahman at the time, like he knew the regime that we went through in high school, so he just transfer that into his program and just like heighten the intensity a little bit. And then I started weightlifting, so that was an added thing too. So because I didn't weightlift in high school,
Okay.
so
and you were pretty successful there too. You know, yeah, you were pretty successful, and you're still considered to be one of Barton Community College most successful athlete.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And you mentioned quite a few Jamaicans went there before and after you.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's an achievement in itself.
Yes.
That's an achievement in itself. But then you went on to the big boys. You went on to South Carolina University, and you continue your dominance on the track. But why did you choose South Carolina? You know what I mean?
So I grew up in a strictly religious. My mom was an evangelist, and my father is a deacon. Yeah. So my mom wanted me somewhere. My mom fell in love with Coach Fry because he went to church every Sunday, and it was like one of the things that she wanted me to be able to go to church. So that's one of the things that won her over. And then for me, it was a fact that he every school I visited, they kept telling me how many Olympians they had and how many championships they've won and yada, yada, yada. But Coach Fry was more concerned about me graduating from college, his team GPA, because he was like, my team GPA is this, and you have to come here and make sure that her team GPA stays at this 3 point, whatever. And I was like, oh, cool. And then I was like, okay, cool. At least he cares about my education and my something for me to have something other than track. Because he was like, track and field has its time, and then you're gonna need something to fall back on. So he set his aim. He's first a father and a educator before he's a coach. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So the decision was pretty much based on what you could achieve off the track, right? And mommy needed you to get to church, to go to church.
Yes.
All right.
Junior Aleen Bailey anchored the upset of hometown LSU.
This will be a critical exchange.
And here they come. And the inside is South Carolina. Aleen Bailey trying to hold off Muna Lee. And South Carolina grabs it.
So you spent 2 years there, right? You spent 2 years there, and 2003 was a big year for you. You went in with your reputation and stuff like that, but also you took the sprint double against all odds. You know, one, you weren't the
Favorites. No.
yeah, you weren't the downright favorite. I mean, South Carolina knew you were going to win. You were the favorite in their books. All your friends, you were the favorite for your friends and stuff. But you know, commentators and track and field experts, you know, thought otherwise.
Yes.
And you created an upset in both the 100 meters and the 200 meters. For the 100 meter, coming back from a sluggish Aleen Bailey start, you've garnered that reputation of sleeping a little in the block sometimes.
I do.
Yeah, right. But you came back in 2003, and we're gonna watch that, and you walk me through it, okay?
Good start for Lee in lane 6. But Mare's running well. And here comes Aleen Bailey. It's Bailey at the tape.
Muna Lee out well off the start, as you said, Bill, but Aleen Bailey, watch there, she's on the left of the screen, a very good reaction to the gun. Aleen Bailey in the all black next to her did not get nearly as good a start, but boy, it's how you finish, not how you start, Carol.
Absolutely. Right here, Aleen Bailey is in control. Muna Lee is trying to put on a late charge, but nobody's going to catch Aleen Bailey. She is just too strong.
I got out sluggish as usual, but I try to maintain my composure and just drive and run. And I think midway, I heard someone in the stands call my name. So it gave me that extra surge.
Right.
And then I was already peeved from them just like disregarding me and not talking about me in the finals. There's like no one that is going to be able to, you know, because they did an interview with Muna Lee, and I was like walking by, and there was like, she was like, there's no one that's going to be able to beat me. So I was like, all right. And then the commentator made it worse as well. So I was like, you know what? You know, I'm mad, and you know, they're talking about everybody else. And I ran a really good heat. I did really good in my heat.
Right.
So I was like, okay, cool. You know. So in the finals, like, you know what? I'm gonna go out there and do my best and give it my best. And Coach Fry was like, I know you're starting good, but I don't want you to panic when you see everybody ahead of you. I just want you to go out there and just run. Mm-hmm. And I did, and that was the result. And it was just like taking one race at a time. So I did that one and then that one. And I usually lose my form at the last part of my race, and I held it. And it was, yeah. And it was like the voice in the crowd, like at the 50-meter mark, that gave me that extra surge. And then when and then after I realized that it was Sonia's parents were in the crowd, and there was somebody next to them cheering for me, and they were cheering for me as well. So, you know, and it was the same thing for the 200 when I got right there. It's the same set of people. And I mean, it was good to have like Sonia parents cheering for me, and her dad is like super famous in Jamaica because he was like a football player for Jamaica. That's Archie Richardson. He's like one of Jamaica's top football players. So when you have like another celebrity from Jamaica cheering for you, understand?
Yeah.
And watching your mom, next level.
Yeah, you couldn't disappoint, right? So, but as you said, you passed, you know, the interviews and no one talked about you and stuff like that. You know, that must have fueled some flames or some fire within you. Yeah. Right. And you know what happened to even after the race, they caught up with Muna Lee again.
Yeah, and it peeved me off again.
Right, and you were the winner.
Exactly.
All right, and stuff. So I know you brought that into the second day of championship. You know, you brought that into the second day in the 200 meters. So let's look at the 200 meters again. Let's look at the 200 meters.
I was rocking back and forth and dancing to some unknown music.
Nerves?
That's how I calm myself, like dance, and then started shadow boxing at one point too.
Yes, you did. We saw that in the Olympics, but there's Aleen.
Plus we needed the points.
Oh yeah, team points, right? Team points.
We were trying to win another championship, so we needed the points. So I was on points. I was on revenge and points.
Okay.
And Aleen Bailey has had just as tough a schedule as Muna Lee. She's won the 100. She's running the 200. She run the 4x100. Now there's talk of her running in the 4x400 as well.
Aleen Bailey was the runner-up in the 200 last year. Lee in lane 6. Bailey in lane 7.
That's an advantage for Muna Lee to be running inside Aleen Bailey. But Bailey has already shown incredible strength in the home stretch.
Muna Lee. It's Lee by a stride. Bailey trying to make a move. Lee, Bailey, and Bailey at the finish line. Aleen Bailey has doubled the 100 and now the 200, and what a performance it's been for Aleen Bailey, the senior from South Carolina.
Aleen Bailey ran an incredible race, and when she came off the turn, Muna Lee, you see in the middle of your track in the purple of LSU, Aleen Bailey, and the collegiate leader this year, Connie Moore, who's in lane number 8, is pulling Aleen Bailey around. But right here, usually in the 200 meters, if you're leaning off the turn, you've got a good shot at it. And Aleen Bailey at this point looks like she's a bit out of the race.
I was in front, so I had to make sure like I go and not get caught.
Right.
They terrified me.
Right, your biggest rival was on the inside,
my hair
right?
My teammates did my hair, so.
You know, you say you were ready for the camera.
Like,
yeah, you were ready for the camera. You were ready for the camera. You were ready to compete.
Lane sprint dominance, both the 100 and the 200. Did you feel as good as you looked?
Yes, I did. I've been waiting for a long time for this. It finally happened. I'm a senior, so I wanted to do good my last year and help my team out. So I did what I came here to accomplish.
All right, thank you so much.
like, you got to look pretty today when you win, because yesterday your hair was not looking good.
Okay. I noticed something coming off the straight. You were running really wide. What happened? What happened there?
I didn't hug the curve as I was supposed to, so I ended up running way more than I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept replaying Coach Fry. I gotta swing my arms, because you're supposed to come off the apex like really fast, but I misjudged my speed. So what happened is that my speed swung me wide.
Right.
So I should have started. So I should have stayed stayed closer to the curb.
Right. So even at that point, you looked as if you were really out of the race, you know.
I told you, son's parents was at the 50 meter, because usually at this 50 meter, I got this extra surge.
Right.
So Sonia's parents were like, that's where they were with another person that was cheering for me. Like, that's right where they were all the time. So I was like, yeah, I think they sat there to be able to cheer their baby on for the last 50, but I got some of it.
Got some of the energy, right? Like,
yeah, and I mean, it's good to have, and it was like, there's Jamaicans in the stands, so I was like, okay, I'm home, so I gotta perform for the home team. So like somebody from Jamaica was there watching. So at the last 50, I had to like dig deep, and I was like, they've been talking smack about me, like I don't exist. I have to like fight through and win this, and my team needed the points. So
the baby voice Aleen Bailey, the senior, you know, but you ended 2003 really well. You ended 2003 really well, and and you know, after all these years competing, I now found out that you have been entered into the University of South Carolina's Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was like amazing. It was like so amazing. Like it was an amazing accomplishment, because
yes, it was.
Usually you have to like been there for like a couple years to get inducted. So but that's good. But Coach Fry like made sure, you know, we got recognized for our accomplishments, you know. So
yeah, that's right. Good. Okay. And also during your time competing, you've been also inducted on the Wall of the Penns Relay Wall of Fame. It's not the Hall of Fame, it's Wall of Fame.
I know.
Penns Relay.
Yes,
listen,
the Penn Relay Wall of Fame.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That's we had the Penn Relay record for the high school 4x1 Penn Relay record for a good while.
Yeah.
So they recognized us for that, and it's good. It was a good feeling, you know.
Okay.
Because I've been going there since what? 95 was my first year.
First year, really. And when was the last time you competed there? The last year you competed at the Penn Relays?
The last year, I think it was 2012.
2012. Okay. So you got a good, how many years that? 95, 2012, a good 17 years?
Yes.
Yeah, good 17 years of the Penns crowd and the atmosphere, and you know, the biggest relay.